Right now, as you're watching this video, there are criminal organizations operating in the shadows with more power than some governments, more money than Fortune 500 companies, and more influence than you could ever imagine. We're talking billions in illegal revenue, politicians in their pockets, and operations spanning entire continents. Sounds like a movie, right? Wrong. These are the most dangerous mafia organizations still operating in 2026. And what shocked me most? They're more sophisticated, more violent, and more untouchable than ever before. Stay with me because what I'm about to reveal will completely change how you see the world of organized crime. And some of these names will absolutely blow your mind. Number 1. The Sinaloa Cartel, Mexico's billion-dollar empire. Let me tell you something. When people think mafia, they picture Italian mobsters in suits. But in 2026, the real power lies south of the border. The Sinaloa Cartel isn't just a drug trafficking organization. It's a multi-billion-dollar criminal empire that makes Pablo Escobar look like a small-time dealer. Here's what's crazy. After the arrest of El Chapo in 2016, everyone thought the Sinaloa Cartel would collapse. Instead, it evolved. Led by Ismael El Mayo Zambada and the next generation of cartel leadership, they've transformed into a decentralized network that's nearly impossible to dismantle. We're talking about an organization that controls approximately 40 to 60% of all drug trafficking into the United States. The numbers are absolutely insane. Intelligence reports estimate the Sinaloa Cartel generates between $3 to $10 billion annually from drug trafficking alone. That's not counting their expansion into human trafficking, extortion, and money laundering operations. They've got sophisticated tunnel systems under the US-Mexico border, some with ventilation, lighting, and rail systems. They use drones for surveillance and drug drops, and they've even got their own private armies. But here's what really separates them from other organizations: strategic intelligence. The Sinaloa Cartel has infiltrated law enforcement at every level: local police, state authorities, even federal agencies. In 2024, a corruption scandal revealed that over 200 Mexican officials were on the cartel's payroll. They don't just avoid the law, they are the law in many regions. Key takeaway: the Sinaloa Cartel operates like a Fortune 500 company with military precision, political connections, and technological sophistication that would make Silicon Valley jealous. You're probably wondering, how do they stay so powerful despite constant law enforcement pressure? Number 2. Ndrangheta, Italy's silent superpower. Now here's where it gets really interesting. While the Sicilian Mafia gets all the attention in movies and TV shows, there's another Italian organization that's quietly become the most powerful mafia in Europe, and most people have never even heard of them. The Ndrangheta originates from Calabria in southern Italy, and they've mastered something the other mafias couldn't: staying under the radar. While the Cosa Nostra was getting decimated by prosecutions in the 1990s and 2000s, the Ndrangheta was building a global criminal network that now operates in more than 40 countries across 5 continents. Let's talk numbers that will blow your mind. According to a 2025 report by the Italian Anti-Mafia Commission, the Ndrangheta generates an estimated 50 to 60 billion euros annually. That's roughly 3.5% of Italy's entire GDP. They're not just involved in traditional mafia activities. They've become the primary cocaine distributors for all of Europe, controlling about 80% of the European cocaine market. But wait, it gets better. The Ndrangheta has something other mafias don't: blood-based loyalty. Their structure is built entirely on family bloodlines, making infiltration by law enforcement almost impossible. You can't become a man in the Ndrangheta unless you're literally born into it. This family-first structure has kept them virtually immune to informants, the thing that destroyed the Sicilian Mafia. Their operations are everywhere. Australian authorities discovered Ndrangheta cells controlling the drug trade in Sydney and Melbourne. German investigators found them running sophisticated money laundering operations through restaurants and construction companies. In 2023, Canadian police arrested 47 Ndrangheta members in Toronto who were running a massive international drug trafficking operation. Here's the scary part. Unlike flashy cartels that attract attention, the Ndrangheta prefers to operate like a shadow corporation. They invest heavily in legitimate businesses, restaurants, construction companies, waste management, creating a legal facade that makes prosecution incredibly difficult. They're not just criminals, they're businessmen with criminal enterprises on the side. But the real question is, how does an organization this massive avoid the spotlight? Number 3. Yamaguchi-gumi, Japan's corporate criminals. You know what's crazy? Imagine a criminal organization with office buildings, business cards, and corporate logos. Welcome to the Yamaguchi-gumi, Japan's largest Yakuza syndicate and possibly the most unique mafia organization in the world. Based in Kobe, the Yamaguchi-gumi has approximately 8,200 active members as of 2026, making them the largest Yakuza family in Japan. But here's what makes them different from every other mafia on this list. For decades, they operated semi-legally. Yes, you read that right. Until stricter anti-Yakuza laws were implemented in the 2000s, Yakuza groups had actual office buildings with their emblems displayed openly. The Yamaguchi-gumi generates an estimated $6 to $8 billion annually through a sophisticated mix of traditional and modern criminal enterprises. They control much of Japan's illegal gambling, prostitution, and drug trafficking. But where they really shine is in white-collar crime, stock manipulation, real estate fraud, corporate extortion, and loan sharking targeting desperate businessmen. Here's something that shocked me. The Yakuza have a deeply embedded role in Japanese society that goes back centuries. After the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami, the Yamaguchi-gumi was among the first to provide disaster relief to affected areas, delivering food, water, and supplies faster than the government. They understand something crucial: public perception is power. But don't let the corporate facade fool you. The Yamaguchi-gumi is violent when necessary. In 2015, a split within the organization led to the creation of a rival faction, the Kobe Yamaguchi-gumi, triggering a gang war that resulted in shootings, stabbings, and attacks across Japan. These aren't businessmen playing dress-up. They're hardened criminals with centuries of tradition backing them. Key takeaway: the Yamaguchi-gumi proves that the most dangerous mafias aren't always the loudest. Sometimes they're the ones wearing suits and carrying briefcases. Quick thing before we continue. If you're finding this absolutely mind-blowing, do me a huge favor and smash that like button right now. Seriously, it helps the algorithm show this to more people who are curious about the dark side of global crime. And subscribe with notifications on, because I've got some insane content coming about how these organizations actually launder their billions. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Now, let's get into something even more disturbing. Number 4. Russian Mafia, Bratva, the post-Soviet powerhouse. Let's be honest, when the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, it created the perfect storm for organized crime. Suddenly, you had former KGB agents, military officers, and intelligence operatives with no jobs, no loyalty to the new government, and very specialized skill sets. The result? The Russian Mafia, or Bratva, became one of the most sophisticated and dangerous criminal networks on the planet. Here's what separates the Russian Mafia from traditional organizations. They're not a single entity. The Bratva is actually a loose network of hundreds of criminal groups operating across Russia, Eastern Europe, and increasingly throughout the world. Some estimates suggest there are over 6,000 organized crime groups operating under the Bratva umbrella, with combined membership exceeding 200,000 individuals. The scope of their operations is massive. We're talking arms trafficking, including weapons stolen from former Soviet military stockpiles, cybercrime operations that target banks and corporations worldwide, human trafficking networks spanning 3 continents, massive drug distribution, and sophisticated money laundering schemes using cryptocurrency and shell companies. But here's where it gets really interesting. The Russian Mafia has something other organizations can only dream of: state connections. Multiple investigations have revealed deep ties between certain Bratva groups and Russian intelligence services. Some analysts believe these relationships are mutually beneficial. The Mafia provides the Kremlin with plausible deniability for certain operations, while the state provides protection from prosecution. In 2025, a joint investigation by Interpol and FBI revealed that Russian organized crime groups were behind a series of ransomware attacks that extracted over $2.3 billion from corporations and governments worldwide. These aren't street thugs. They're employing former military hackers, utilizing cutting-edge technology and operating with precision that rivals state-sponsored operations. The Bratva's influence extends far beyond Russia. Brighton Beach in New York has been a notorious hub for Russian organized crime for decades. In 2024, authorities in Spain arrested 38 members of a Russian crime syndicate that had established a massive money laundering operation on the Costa del Sol. German investigators have documented extensive Bratva involvement in the European sex trafficking trade. You won't believe what happens when these organizations clash with law enforcement. Number 5. MS-13, Mara Salvatrucha, the transnational street army. Now let's talk about something that keeps law enforcement officials awake at night. MS-13 started as a street gang in Los Angeles in the 1980s, formed by Salvadoran immigrants fleeing civil war. But in 2026, they've evolved into something far more sinister: a transnational criminal organization with an estimated 50,000 to 70,000 members operating across North America, Central America, and beyond. What makes MS-13 absolutely terrifying is their reputation for extreme violence. We're not talking about business-like executions. MS-13 is known for brutal, public displays of violence designed to instill fear. Machete attacks, dismemberment, targeting of family members. They use terror as a strategic tool. The FBI has designated them as one of the most dangerous gangs in the United States, and that's not hyperbole. Here's what shocked me about their evolution. MS-13 has transformed from a street gang into a sophisticated criminal enterprise. They're heavily involved in drug trafficking, particularly cocaine and marijuana distribution, human smuggling operations along the US-Mexico border, extortion rackets targeting immigrant communities, and even contract killings for cartels and other criminal organizations. But here's the crazy part. MS-13's structure is both their strength and weakness. Unlike traditional hierarchical mafias, MS-13 operates through loosely connected cliques called cliques that maintain significant autonomy. This decentralized structure makes them incredibly difficult to dismantle. You can't just arrest the leadership and expect the organization to collapse. But it also means they lack the coordination of more structured mafias. The transnational nature of MS-13 creates unique challenges for law enforcement. A member can commit a crime in Los Angeles, flee to El Salvador, coordinate operations from there, and then return through Mexico. In 2023, a coordinated operation across 6 countries resulted in 700 MS-13 arrests. And within 6 months, their operational capacity was barely affected. Key takeaway: MS-13 proves that you don't need billions in revenue or corporate structures to be dangerous. Sometimes raw violence and decentralized networks are just as effective. The real question is, can law enforcement ever truly defeat organizations this adaptable? Number 6. Triads, China's ancient criminal network. Let me tell you something that sounds like fiction, but is 100% real. The Chinese triads have been operating for over 300 years. That's longer than the United States has existed as a country. Originally formed as resistance movements against the Qing dynasty, they've evolved into sophisticated criminal organizations with global reach and deep roots in Chinese communities worldwide. The major triad groups, 14K, Sun Yi On, Wo Xing Wo, collectively have an estimated 200,000 plus members operating primarily in Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan, and Chinese diaspora communities across Southeast Asia, North America, Europe, and Australia. Their criminal portfolio is extensive. Drug trafficking, particularly heroin and methamphetamine, illegal gambling operations, loan sharking, counterfeiting, human smuggling, and increasingly, cybercrime. But here's what makes the triads unique in 2026: their adaptation to China's economic rise. As China became an economic superpower, the triads evolved alongside it. They've infiltrated legitimate businesses, particularly in real estate, entertainment, and technology sectors. Money laundering through Macau's casinos alone is estimated at $50+ billion annually, and triad groups control significant portions of that flow. The triad's international reach is absolutely mind-blowing. Australian authorities have documented extensive triad involvement in the Australian drug trade, particularly methamphetamine importation. In 2024, Canadian police arrested members of the 14K triad who were running a massive fentanyl production and distribution network in British Columbia. European investigators have tracked triad-controlled human smuggling operations, bringing Chinese nationals into the EU. Here's something fascinating. The triads maintain incredibly secretive initiation rituals involving elaborate ceremonies, blood oaths, and symbolic acts that date back centuries. This combination of ancient tradition and modern criminal enterprise creates an organization with deep loyalty and cutting-edge operational capabilities. But wait, it gets better, or worse, depending on your perspective. So here's what we've uncovered today. The most dangerous mafias in 2026 aren't just surviving, they're thriving. From the Sinaloa Cartel's billion-dollar drug empire to the Ndrangheta's silent domination of Europe, from the Yamaguchi Gumi's corporate criminals to the Bratva's state-connected networks, from MS-13's transnational terror to the Triad's ancient yet modern operations. These organizations prove that organized crime is more sophisticated, more global, and more powerful than ever before. 3 key takeaways. First, modern mafias operate like corporations with global supply chains. Second, the most dangerous organizations are often the ones you've never heard of. Third, the line between legitimate business and organized crime is blurrier than ever. Now here's my question for you. Which of these organizations shocked you the most? the Ndrangheta's silent power, or MS-13's brutal tactics? Drop your answer in the comments, because I'm genuinely curious what you think. And if you want to understand how these organizations move their billions without getting caught, you need to watch my next video. I'm breaking down the truth about how the Mafia launders money, and trust me, the methods they use are absolutely genius. We're talking cryptocurrency, shell companies, casinos, and techniques so sophisticated that even financial experts are impressed. You won't believe how easy they make it look. If this video opened your eyes to the hidden world of organized crime, smash that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into the criminal underworld, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.